Sessions, we had a title. I hope that it can attract the attention from our participants, that we would like to focus on what happens when agricultural investment goes wrong. We will have the expert from the region, the 4 countries, especially which is covered by the Mekong Region Land Governance Project. And we will gather their experience on this topic to share with all of us. I myself, Sothath, Nwe Sothath, I am currently a research manager at the Center for Policy Studies, a think tank NGO in Cambodia. And I have the honor to be the facilitator for these sessions. And we have the panelist joining us on to my right, Vanida. She is the head of the Secretariat of the Land Information Working Group in Laos, which is a network of more than 40 NGOs. To promote the land right in Laos, and also will be joined by Jeanne. She is from the Helvetas, and she manages a program called PSVC. I don't have the time to go into the details, but in principle, this program is working to promote the partnership between the civil society and the government with regard to land issues. And I have also another expert from Oxfam, Cambodia, Asisah. She is the program manager, taking care of the responsible investment and land governance. And she has also a great extent of engagement with the Vietnam Rubber Group in order to promote the gender equity in the rubber value chain. And also we have Nwe, her full name Nwe Ni Soe, from Myanmar. She works with Namati, which is an organization provide paralegal to support to the community to protect their land tenure. Yeah. And last, at the end, we have Tuan, Nguyen and Tuan. He is the director of CISDOMA. It is an organization in Vietnam. DOMA has been an active player in the engagement for the revision of the land law in Vietnam, which was in 2024, quite recent. So today he will bring his experience and engagement with this land law revision in Vietnam and share with all of us with regard to the agricultural investment in Vietnam, and there are implications with the rights of the ethnic minorities in Vietnam, especially in the central region, I guess. Yeah. So, and for the next, before we start the conversation, I would like to bring all of you through a little bit about the overall context in the region before I start the question to our panelists. Can you start the slide? I have a few slides to present. Yeah. In this region, I think the Mekong region in particular, there has been a remarkable agrarian transformation over the past decades. Especially with regard to the access to land. So the region has seen this change of the land use with the expansion of the agricultural production, and this expansion has been the expense of the deforestation or degradation of the natural resources. So I do not bring you too far, but at least we have seen that this region has gone a remarkable change over the past decades, that it moved from the collectivism system of agricultural productions, and it moved into the market system, and soon after that market system, the region has gone into the large-scale land acquisition in the form of economic land concession, for example, that allowed the government to grant a large chunk of land to the private sectors in order to attract the investment into the region. So the region has been a major destination for the FDI, especially with regard to this agro-industrial development. But this happened during the year of 2000 and all the way to 2000, the late 90s to 2000. And soon after that, what we can see is the influx of this investment has presented in a wide spread of conflicts in the region. That's the tension between the companies and the smaller farmers who have been in the region based on their customary practices with regard to their land use. So that there has been a tension, and there has been also proof that this company, when it is expected to contribute to the economic development and raise the livelihood of the local people, it ends up with these conflicts, and also it was evidenced by their low productivity with regard to the agricultural productions. And this has been another turning point for the government and policymakers in the region to turn into, to seek the other alternative models to these large-scale land acquisitions. And that has been the interest in contract farmings and also other investment model like the nucleus estate models that allows the large-scale investment from big companies, but these companies develop an opportunities to work with the farmers around them in order to provide a supply of agricultural produce to them as main players, in order to have a linkage between the farmers to the international markets, and also with the supplies of other supporting services like the access to credit or the access to new technology, things like that. Yeah, so that has been, I want to set the stage. And with regard to our topics on what happens when agricultural investment goes wrong, I would like to I want to bring the attention to these three aspects of the agricultural investment projects. The first is on the due diligence aspect. Second is on the implementation, the actual implementation of the investment projects. And finally is the outcome. So after the investment project, so what happened? Of course, the business wants to have a better result for their own company, but we would like to also to observe the outcome in terms of the impact on the land tenure of the local people, the livelihood, and also the environment at the local level. So this could be at the impact level that we want to observe where would the investment goes wrong can be observed. So it could be observed all across the stage, I think, at the due diligence process, whether the company has done a proper assessment before the start of the actual investment, and when actually implemented, whether they have a proper structure to implement in order to achieve their intended objective, and whether there are proper mechanisms for people to react or provide feedback or grievance to them, things like that. So these, all our experts will bring all their experience. As I said in this objective is to discuss the experience of the civil society. We have only civil society representative on our stage. We don't have the representative from other sectors, whether it's the government or the private sector in this session. So we'll focus only on the experience of the non-state actors with the investment and the land right in the Mekong region. And the second is we want to draw this lesson based on the engagement. We can draw the lessons and provide some suggestion in terms of priorities and way forward in the region for cross-learning and for a further advancement of a more responsible agriculture investment. So that's it for a stage. I want to bring our attention to this topic on what happens when agricultural investment goes wrong. So the next, I would like to invite a representative from Myanmar, Nwe. First, I would like you to share probably the update of what has been the major changes with regard to the land right in Myanmar. This would also be a good opportunity to have a good update into what is happening in Myanmar given the changes so far. So please.
So in Myanmar context, we can say that the situation is totally changed after the 2021. You know, we have the political situation change. We have the coup. So before that, we have the agriculture investment or any kinds of investment in the country. But after the coup, we are difficult to say the numbers of the agriculture or any kinds of investment, agriculture investment or any kinds of investment in Myanmar with data. And also we are difficult to get the investment and database and from the government side. So yeah, it's really challenging for us. And also on the ground, we can say that there are pure investment, but some investment are still coming to the ground. But for me, I can say that it is most illegal and investment. Illegal means that some investor or they say that they are using for the land for the agriculture purpose, but on the ground, in the reality, there are a lot of mining and doing the violation on the ground. So in that situation, the people from Myanmar, they cannot proceed for their injustice, and also people who are suffering from those issues, and they cannot longer to go to the government office. So, and also they're going to the government department or it's also not safe for the community. So the community people also thinking for their own ways to protect and to maintain and for their land themselves.
Okay, thank you, Nwe. But yeah, so the investment has been less, and it has been more difficult for the people to access the justice system. And if you can provide additional information on how the people try to protect their own land in this context, especially whether are there any encounter directly with the private investment in their localities?
Yes, and we can say that there are some agricultural investment or agricultural investment in Myanmar before the coup, before starting the coup, and I witnessed that they create some problems, especially in the community. They make social tension and also division, make division in the community. I want to give the example in the coastal area of the Ayawadi, and there are some blueprint carbon credit projects already there. So the project implementer also even came to the ground and shared that they get the profit and they get the income from the carbon credit project, but the implementer worldview, they didn't share the information transparently to the community. And also, they also say that half of the money to go to the village. But and also they add they were deduct the project implementation cost from their profit. So for me, I think even this agricultural investment also make a lot of problems. For example, the project implementer and they support to the community, and the people who got the receipt from the project support, and also the people who doesn't have the project support, is make a lot of tension in the community, and also community before that they are able to access to their mangrove area. After that, this agricultural project came in, they cannot longer to access to their area. And also, in some area, they said the investor they applying for the vacant fallow margin land permission on the ground, but on the ground, and they plan for the few area, and then the rest they start doing the mining. So yeah, I feel that it's a lot of negative impact because of the agriculture and yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Nwe. So the presence of the investment projects, to some extent, it's prohibit the local people, the farmers, to access their customary fishing areas, and there are also some practices where the company would get the concessions or the rights from the government to do tree planting, for example, but they end up with other possibility in terms of mining and stuff on the ground. Thank you so much about the attention to Myanmar. Next, I would like to invite colleagues from Laos to share some of the latest development in Laos with regard to the legal system. What are the legal system exist for the local communities in Laos? So Vanida will set the stage for us on this update. So please, Vanida.
Sure.
Yeah.
So for Laos, thanks to Sothath for bringing in setting the scene for the regions. In Laos, it's not different as well, because we are also the government is promoting to attract the investment in Laos from foreign and also domestic investors. We have a policy called turning land into capital that was ongoing for more than 2 decades now. And there are also different investment models that are happening in Laos as well. One of which is the large-scale land investments, and the issues of that is that there is no really like a strong requirement for communities to participate in the contract negotiation process overall. Because usually the contract is negotiated directly between investors and the government, with an exceptions on one of the regulations that was issued in 2019. It's called Ministerial Guidelines on the Approval Process of Investment Projects, or in short, we call Guideline number 1457, which actually have a requirement for the investors to ask for agreement from land users and use that as an evidence for getting approval from the government for the large-scale land concessions. But the issues of that is that it says that for the investors to consult with those who have tenure documents, but we're not sure what kind of tenure documents that could bring the communities or the land users eligible for being included in the consultations or getting agreement from them. And on another side, there's also contract farming that is quite happening a lot, especially in recent years in Laos. Also, it's more inclusive, I would say, but also encounter different issues as well, especially when we are talking about the rural communities in Laos with low educations, low level of literacies. They are not really even are able to read the contract if there is the requirement for the investors to make a direct contract with such communities. And normally the contract takes time as well, because there is some requirements for the contract to be certified by the district office, and this take time. And sometimes it is not suitable for for long short-term crops like watermelons and things like that. And the issues about fair negotiations because of the community's skills to negotiate fair contract with the investors. And with that issues, we are also trying to provide the information to communities on ways they can access to the justice systems. But the initiatives that we have done in the past is pretty much limited to awareness raising. So we don't engage directly on providing legal counseling or the supports for the communities, but to offer what is to say in the laws, in the regulations on the options that the community can access. Like you have seen here in the posters that we are actually developed with GIZ, when I was with GIZ, but widely used by the members of LIWG as well. So this posters says everything about the options that community can access. So at the community level, you see there, number one is the customary ways of providing conflict resolutions or when disputes are happening. So usually these are available at the community level, but not recognized officially by the government. So they are often excluded from any initiatives from the government to provide capacity building, for example, for these kind of customary ways. And they are usually like head of clans, ethnic groups, usually those kind of people. And the second one is the Village Mediation Committee, which is a semi-judicial body that is actually under the direct supervisions of the Ministry of Justice down to the district level. So they are actually community-based, but linked with the government system as well. And down there, you will see the administrative level, so meaning different offices at the district level who are mandated or responsible with certain disputes. For example, if it is about land, then it goes to the District Office of Natural Resource and Environment, Department of Land. If it is about chemical use, then it goes to the District Office of Agriculture. If it is about overall need for counseling or the information about law, then it goes to Department of Justice. And then we have also Department of Planning and Investment, who is responsible for overall the questions about concessions and violations of the concessions terms and something like that. And up there, in the right, it's where the communities can access further systems like we have the court system. We have the court system from the region level, district level to province, and then to national level, depending on like the solutions or the outcome of the solutions are. And then finally, there is a petitions process where the communities can actually lodge their complaints and petitions to the provincial people's assembly and national assembly. But the gaps, we, especially the CSOs, we don't really have the access to data. So we don't really know like how many cases actually go to the National Assembly, how many cases are actually go to the different office or even the courts. So that's why it's difficult for us to provide the interventions and support the communities on the ground as well. So that is.
Yeah, so there are grievances around, but there is no proper system that we can keep our monitoring where the cases are to which level, things like that. Thank you very much. Next, I would like to bring the attention to Vietnam. As I mentioned earlier, in Vietnam there was a law revision, the revision of the land law just last year, 2014. So maybe Tuan, from your engagement, what would be the updates in terms of your observation on this law? To what extent it had protect the right of ethnic minorities in Vietnam?
Yes.
And maybe what are the gaps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warm greetings. to all the audience here. I am Tuan, I'm the director from CISDOMA, the Consultative Institute for Socio-Economic Development of the rural and mountainous area in Vietnam. I will try to manage time so that all the panelists could share. As you know, the newly revised land law in 2024 was introduced to modernize Vietnam land management system, and it also helps to address long-standing issues from the last version of the land law, with the aims to first to align land valuation with market principles and replacing the outdated price frameworks. Second is to improve transparency and fairness in land use, allocation, and compensation. And the third purpose is to strengthen the land rights for citizens, including ethnic minorities and overseas Vietnamese. And the last one is to support sustainable developments and attract more responsible investment, especially in agriculture. So far, it has, some progress has been made. First, the new land law helped to guarantee access to residential and agricultural land for ethnic minorities community and other communities. The law also offers exemptions or reduction in land use and rental fees for different types of lands. The law also mandates the creation of land reserves for ethnic minorities, and it also reflects a long-standing government commitments to poverty reduction and equity, especially protection to the ethnic minority. However, there are still some critical issues remain. The first one is the customary land rights is not fully recognized in our legal framework. Access to justice remains limited because the legal process are usually costly and complicated, especially to the vulnerable group and ethnic minority people. The compensation mechanism for land recovery are usually delayed and unfair, especially to those who are in the remote areas and the vulnerable groups of people. The civil society and local institutions still need more support to monitor and advocate. So the 2024 land law is, a promising foundation, but its success still depends on the strong implementation, inclusive, good governance, and should be continued for reform. So CISDOMA is proud to have been consulted by the revision task force of MONRE, the Ministry of Natural Resource Management and Environment, so during the drafting of the new land law. So our involvement, our engagement reflect a shared commitment to inclusive, equitable land governance, especially for vulnerable and ethnic minority communities.
Thank you, Tuan, for this update on the revision of the land law with a clear objective and what CISDOMA has been an important role in providing the consultations and feedback into this process of the land law revision. That's interesting. I think we will come back to you more later about what CISDOMA has been doing in contributing to this revision. Yeah. For the next in Cambodia, we have Asisah from Oxfam. What would be the update or latest development with regard to agricultural investment and land right in Cambodia that would you like to bring us a snapshot for the latest development for our audience here?
Yeah. Thank you and very good morning, everyone. Oxfam as a member of the Cambodia Alliance for Responsible Agriculture Investment. So we have been working a lot on land governance and also the agriculture investment in the context of contract farming. So related to the land governance, the timing for the land law amendment between Cambodia and Vietnam is just very similar. Last year, the government, the Ministry of Land, have been, instead of amended the current land law that have been more than 20 years old, but they are willing to develop a new land law. And it is still it's still ongoing under the Ministry of Land. And at the same time, Ministry of Agriculture also working on a draft new contract farming law. While currently we are implementing the contract farming sub-degree, however, the sub-degree is just a little focused. The narrow is focused only on dry commodity, while the Ministry of Agriculture, they have a bigger vision that the contract farming law will be coverage all agriculture commodity in the near future. So in Cambodia, these two laws are underway at the same time. And related to the land governance, up to now, the latest information that I got from the Ministry of Land, it is more than 40 million plots or piece of land have been registered and provide certificates by the governments, and more than 3,000 community land, including community protected area, community forestry, community fishery, have been registered and recognized by the governments. So among these, they said that among the 40 million pieces of land have been registered, half of them are agricultural land. So this makes farmer or agriculture cooperative feel a little secure in terms of putting more investment on their agricultural productivity. But still, even though the land sector has been made progressive, but there are challenges still along the way, especially to the small-scale farmer or agricultural cooperative, because in Cambodia context, we use the land as collateral to get financial or capital from the bank, and financial sector at the bank in Cambodia with not a little, but interest rate is high. So the farmer, to some extent, they are falling into the debt when they are increasing their agricultural productivity. On the other hand, related to the agriculture contract farming, even though we are implementing the current sub-degree on contract farming, but the enforcement of this sub-degree is very vague and very weak, where the both party can be fall into conflict anytime, especially when the harvesting season, the price keep fluctuate based on the international market and middlemen. Sometimes farmers don't sell the product to the company that have been agreed, or the other issue from the company to the farmer is related to payment. Even in the agreement, they mention about the payment method and timing, but in reality, the payment always very late or too late that have broke the contract between the two parties. So these are the main challenges has continued to happen in Cambodia related to the contract farming practices.
Thank you very much, Asisah. So in principle, there are legal framework in Cambodia that that support the implementation of the contract farming. But the actual implementation has been rather weak because it's difficult to enforce when both parties of the contract do not comply with what was agreed in the agreement, especially when it is influenced by the market prices changing from one time to another. And then each party tend to try to get away from being compliant to their commitment. Next, in addition to this, what Oxfam as an organization has developed its interventions in order to address this issue and improve the situations with regard to contract farming implementation.
Yes, as said earlier that we are a member of the Cambodia OI Alliance. We have been working with our alliance and especially the Ministry of Agriculture regarding the new contract farming law. We are analyze the draft version and we provide input from expertise from the real practitioner, from the farmer, from the companies that investing in the agriculture and also implementing the contract farming. We also analyze the gap that should be addressed in the upcoming contract farming law, and especially we have been analyzed the role of gender to make the contract farming, the new law on contract farming more gender inclusive. So we provide an example, a case study where we highlight the role of women at the farming level into the case, our analysis. And also, we have worked with the alliance member to identify the root cause of the conflict that happened during implementing the contract farming. And we develop, we call it conflict mitigation framework that help the contract implementer, both at the community, agriculture cooperative or the company, to look and to be more precaution about what's going to happen or what the implication that could lead to conflict. And last, when the conflict cannot prevent, we also propose a step-by-step solution, the conflict resolution mechanism to the parties to be considered when the conflict has happened during the contract farming implementation. Moreover, Oxfam has created a platform for dialogue. We bring all the agriculture cooperative, the company, the government stakeholders to come and discuss on the issue that has happening at the field. And with the alliance member, we continuously provide the capacity building to agriculture cooperative, especially on the negotiation skill, contract negotiation skill, and the legal legislation related in Cambodia, so that they understand what are the legal implications when party break the contract. And we also produce this guidance on conflict prevention in the contract farming, and we introduce this guidance and disseminate to our alliance member and also the agriculture cooperative at the field. So they have been learning on this guidance, and we expected that in the near future it will be help to reduce the conflict in the contract farming practices.
Yep. Thank you very much. So it's quite a lot in terms of the interventions, but one of the things that Oxfam has done is to focus on, to engage with this, the draft law development on contract farming, so that they have a stronger legal framework to support the implementation of the contract farming. And there is also a support to not just to resolve, but also to prevent the conflict from happening from the onset. So this is also an important aspect of intervention from Oxfam in terms of the capacity building to the cooperative, the farmer cooperative, so that they have a better understanding and better skills in negotiation, especially in the contract farming with the company. And in this regard, I would like to also bring the attention to one of the research findings. I think we work in the responsible agriculture investment in Cambodia, where CPS, the organization that I'm working with, we had a research, and one of the findings is that the contract enforcement becomes more effective when the contract terms are fairer. So it is important to have a fair agreement, a fair terms of a contract, because if the contract is imposed by one party and the other party, they don't have much say to revise or to make it more implementable, for example, and then they are not so willing to accept the term. In this regard, the contract is more susceptible to breaches, let's say. So next, back to Tuan. I think in terms of the development of the land law, the revision of the land law in Vietnam, it has set a clear objective. It has presented some good aspects in terms of protecting the customary tenure of the local people, the ethnic minorities. But there are some gaps in there, as you highlighted. In this regard, what CISDOMA has contributed into the revision process, but after that, whether CISDOMA have developed any programs or strategies in order to support the implementation of this law revision to make it a better result on the ground?
Actually, CISDOMA has engaged in a lot of activities from the process of drafting and finalizing the land law 2024 together with some task force from the special task force of Monterey and the other civil society organization member. At the macro level, we have implemented quite a lot of policy research, and we have some kind of policy recommendation during the revision of the land law. And we are also the member of the Ethnic Minority Council of the National Assembly in Vietnam, and we are invited as a member to implement the monitoring, which is the function of the Ethnic Minorities Council of the National Assembly. We conduct different types of field visits together with the council to monitor the enforcement and the implementation of the land law. Here I would like to emphasize one of the significant work of CISDOMA. We have contributed to the process of monitoring the land law. We actually, in every activities, especially to the law, in order to monitor the enforcement or the implementation of any law, we need a kind of effective monitoring framework. So why this? We CISDOMA, under the support of the MILG and within the Vietnam work stream, CISDOMA has successfully led the development of the citizen monitoring handbooks for the land governance. I mean, for the implementation of the land law in 2024. We completed this process in late August this year and early September this year, and that has been piloted in in some provinces, including in the North region, the center highland of Vietnam, and also in the south of Vietnam. This guideline, I mean this handbook were designed to help communities track and access the implementation of the land-related policies, ensuring the transparency, accountability, and protection of the vulnerable groups, especially those residing in high and remote areas. So why a citizen monitoring framework is important? Because it helps to ensure law is enforced fairly and consistently across the regions. It also helps empower communities, especially the ethnic minorities and small holders, to understand and protect their land rights. It also helps to prevent the elite to capture the land, and also help to protest against the corruption in the land allocation and compensation. during the enforcement, during the implementation of the land law. And it also helps to promote transparency and accountabilities in how land decisions are made. So, however, because recently Vietnam has undergone a major administrative system restructuring, including the adoption of the two-tier government model and the merging of different provinces. So this restructuring has critical implementation and implication for almost all the current law in Vietnam, including the Land Law 2024. As a result, there is now also an urgent need to get the newly revised Land Law 2024 to be continuous revised, which can better reflect the new administrative boundaries and responsibilities to update the land management procedures under the new context and emerging niche, reach to and opportunities under the restructure system. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope, given the time, I want to provide a better, longer summary, but that's last point. There is a need for further revision in order to reflect the latest reform in terms of administration system in Vietnam. But the interesting thing is want to bring back about the CISDOMA's CISDOMA efforts to develop a monitoring system, especially linking with the representative of the ethnic minorities in the parliament. So this is a very good strategy and engagement to engage them into the fields to see the actual implementation on the ground. Thank you very much. Back to Laos. I think I give opportunity to Jeanne to respond from the program that was developed in order to improve the awareness and information for the people with regard to access to legal system in Laos. So what were the strategy to forge this partnership with the local communities, and what are the challenges you faced at the same time? Yeah.
Thank you, Sothath, for these questions. So yes, with the PISVC project, so PISVC stands for Public Information and Awareness Services for Vulnerable Communities. We have been partnering with CSOs in Laos together with the local government. And maybe it's not new to you, but in order to have true partnerships with the communities, you need to go through a gradual process. And you can only have impact if you really are having a participatory process where you have ownership and something that is really responsive to the needs of the people. So I would highlight 3 key factors that enabled us to build that partnership with the communities. The first one is using a participatory process. We've been partnering with Nwe as our main government partner, but also with a range of all other ministries and mass organizations in Laos to develop TOT manuals and tools, materials for trainings that were then endorsed by the government and recognized so that everyone can use, basically, because you know that it has been validated by the government. We use the cascading effect, training people from the central level all the way down to the local level. We've been hearing Tuan this morning insisting on how it's important to involve all the levels in the capacity development process to close that gap and to bring people together. So that's what we've been doing with our CSOs. And the process has been made by and for local stakeholders. People trust what they know. So when you go to the communities, you need also to rely on what is existing, on the things that are already in place, to strengthen these mechanisms, to reinforce them, and to really allow for the voices of the communities to shape your project, shape your activities, going back there, asking them, consulting with the communities to get their feedback, whether your action is actually moving and it's moving in the right direction, if it's helping them. And the third is to bring the information close to the needs. Vanida was just highlighting before that communities, they don't have the means to travel, they don't have the time to travel, they are farming, they need to be on their land, they need to have the information close to them and by people that they trust. So yes, the customary system may not be helpful for going all the way up when there are big conflicts and issues happening, but relying on village mediation committees, relying on village paralegal, relying on village chief as the first layer to provide that information to people and to really send it and disseminate it to the villager, that is the first step. The second is to help them document cases, to help them have access to digital information, legislation that are online, etc. So to really build their capacity so that if there is a need to go to the next level, they will know how to direct people, they will know how to guide them to the next steps in the process. And for the lesson learned, I have also three main ones. I could speak about this for hours, so I will not try not to do. But the first one is that it takes time. It's a process. It's a gradual process. So you need to allow time. Go back, come back, recheck, readjust to make sure that you are still being relevant. The second is that the way you package information is as important as the information itself. You need to have access to documents, posters, videos that are speaking to the communities, to ethnic groups that don't have the literacy, the education level that you may expect from people in the city. And the third one would be that when you build the skills, you also need to build the confidence. We have had that lady in the village and she was saying, before I never had touched a microphone. And now I'm standing in front of my community and I'm the one providing information. So I think that is where you see that the success comes when, and the sustainability comes when it's within the community.
Thank you so very much, Jeanne. I hope it's a good update and experience with regard to this joint effort and through a participatory process at the local level, bring all the information down near to them. Nwe, from Myanmar, for the next round, given the context changes, the difficulty you faced in Myanmar over the past years, so what has been the changing in terms of the strategy from your organizations to support the local people, whether you need to redesign these strategies in order to improve your support, to make sure that your support will still reach to the local communities?
Yeah, Myanmar is really unstable situation right now. So the people are also traveled to go one place to another. And also most community are under the different pressure. So as our organization, we ourselves, we cannot continue our work as before. So we have to change our strategy and also our project area and the numbers of the paralegal also reduce and shrinking it. And also before we have we can say 90 paralegal, community-based paralegal who are using the legal empowerment model on the ground. Now we have only 25 paralegal left. So before we are handling the land and environmental justice cases. We have the data system. We have over 5,000 cases are handling for land issue, and also we have 20 environmental justice cases are handling all over I think nearly 10 years. So that kind of program is not working anymore in Myanmar. So and also the way of our model, legal empowerment model, is like I want to explain a little bit. It is about we call no law, use law, share law. So it is the community is participating in the learning to know the law and also use the strength of the law, and also finally is the shape the process and shape the policy process of the process. So all this no law, share law, use law is like a cycle. So there is all central for the community. Community is a central part, and also community is a key driver. So without community, we cannot continue our program and our before land and environment justice cases. So now we are changing the strategy. It's called Community Land Protection Program, and we call CLP. So CLP is a process, and it's also practicing on the ground in the community, and by doing their mapping and their own land and the individual land for the collected land also, and also documenting their information, and also forming the committee by locally democratically elected committee, and that committee are leading for the drawing the laws, and we call bylaws, community bylaws, and that bylaws are already used in the past or till now, but people are not written down or documented. So this committee and also doing the boundary mapping or negotiation with their own community, and also even their neighboring committee, they do the boundary mapping and also reduce the conflict internally and also externally. So, and this is not all for the CLP process. That the final goal of the CLP process is to reach get the recognition from the respected government. So currently we don't have the government. We difficult to say the government. So for Namati, we accept the plural government, and so now in Myanmar we have not only the military government, also the revolution or exile government, also ethnic nationality, also they are forming their own territory, and also they are trying to make an administration system. So yeah, we the Namati also trying to work with this ethnic nationality group also, and also working under the mainland as well.
Thank you so much about the re-strategized from the three main pillars. Just in case, it's that Namati apply. It's know the law, use the law, and shape the law. So make sure that people have good knowledge of the law, and then they need to use it to apply it in their land tenure system, and then also to shape the law at the policy level changes. And then to end up with adapting to this community land protection at the local level, where people can form a committee through the democratic process by themselves to map their tenure. Given the time, I think we will move to the next round. We would like to draw in terms of lesson from the experience or interventions in each countries. So based on those experiences of engagement with the local community, also with the government at the national and the local level, so what would be the lesson that could be drawn as a priorities and way forward to improve the tenure security to protect the land of the people? So I would like to refer back to the Laos. In this regard, from the capacity development program to the local people, what are the key lessons and way forward from there?
Thank you, Sothath. I will start maybe from a project perspective and let Vanida speak about from the network perspective. But at least from the PASVC project, so we work with subgrants, and we really see subgrants as providing resources, for sure, to local communities and to CSOs, but it's also a way to open the space, for them to connect, to learn together and to contribute to the project objective, but also to the government objective. And in this, I have 4 key lessons I would like to share. The first one is that you need to have inclusive subgrants mechanism. Subgrants need to be for everyone. Civil society comes in different shape and forms. They have different capacity. You can have high, strong and powerful CSOs, and you can have very small one with very dedicated people. So you need to acknowledge that in your project, and perhaps also combine it with some capacity development so that you can really make an impact on the organization themselves in the long run. The second one is that we've been seeing that to close that gap, civil society can be there to close the gap of capacity with the government, but the government is also helping them to build their legitimacy towards community. So it's a mutual benefit relationship that you are building when you work hands in hands with the government. The third one would be to always keep in mind that you can feedback your work into policy dialogue. And for this, we've been very lucky to partner with the LIWG in Laos to bring back the experience of our sub-grantees and government partner into subsector working group, into communities of practice. So really to share that back to the wider community. And the last one is to be ambitious, to share your materials, share your tools, share your resources, share your lesson learned. We have at the back, at the entrance over there, all the PASVC tools and materials. They are freely accessible. They are their QR codes with ethnic languages. Please use them because those are proven to be working. They are endorsed. So I encourage anyone that has good practice or good materials to share them. Because yes, subgrant is more than funding. It's really an investment in the visibility of the CSOs, the trust that is built with the CSOs, and in the capacity for long-term impact on the ground. So over to you, Vanida.
Yeah, so Vanida will also share some of the lessons, but please try to, I ask for the last round, try to make it short in order to leave some space for our participant to ask some questions.
I will try. So there are actually two points that I want to share. One is on the subject matter itself, the access to justice, dispute resolutions and grievance mechanisms. LIWG, over more than almost 30 years of our existence, also with members, we have tested a lot of ways that works, right? I mentioned that in the past we were more focused on awareness raising based on the legal system of Laos, because that is less sensitive. But we're also thinking of providing the direct support as well. One of the PSVC is one of the progressive projects that we are implementing together with Jeanne here and Helvetas that have stronger components on legal counseling. We also trying to work with lawyers as well, because we know that the scale of the impacts or the conflicts are different, and some of the conflicts cannot be mediated at the village level. So we partner with lawyers, but very costly, I must say. And it ends up that we can provide on-site, like one-off counseling service rather than a follow-up process to provide a systematic support to the communities where it reached the solutions. We're also trying to seek the opportunity with pro bonos. Hopefully it works, but also there is a general hesitant of the lawyers or legal professional in Laos to work on these sensitive areas as well. That's why we need to start also from advocacies and negotiating with the governments. Like Jeanne said, that we have pushed a lot of our efforts in our policy advocacies and negotiation with communities, that these can be the role of the CSOs to support communities as well. And lastly, we also test the work that we directly work with companies. There are some responsible companies that we promote the company-based grievance mechanism, but this is quite limited because there is no legal framework to support it in Laos. That's why there are only a handful of responsible of companies that are wishing to partner with us to implement company-based grievance mechanisms. And my last point is on the network perspective, because LIWG, even though we are working for land and promotions of land rights, but we are very diverse. We have very diverse expertise. One is working on gender, one is working on access to justice, one is working on private sector engagement. So the big questions for LIWG is how we can actually transferring the common issues in one place where one organization is working, but linking to the expertise of the other members of the expertise of other members of LIWG. That's why LIWG is playing that role to facilitate that issues in one place, discussion, at the network level and find the solutions together, and also finally to work with the government on policy advocacy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vanida. I hope we will move to the other three, but at the same time, I hope you can have some questions, be ready to ask after this. To Nwe, what would be the lesson you want to highlight from your experience in empowering community?
Yeah, I want to refer to the community land protection program again. And so this, because of that, this community land protection program make the community can practice their land and environmental justice governance, and also this is not only for now, and also yesterday also we talked about a lot of resilience. So this community and the community land protection is, I think, it is a pathway of the community resilience in current situation. Is really fit in Myanmar, and also that from my experience in Myanmar, different government change, but they are really think for the community. So this CLP can practice in the on the ground, and one day I think we hope the government change, and also even the ethnic nationality government, and now they are doing the start controlling the territory, their land. So they start doing the administration and management, and also they are start developing the policy and law. So we want to put more the power and also space for the community, and to it's mentioned in the policy or law, and supporting for the community. We want to do more this situation.
Thank you, Nwe. Tuan, yeah, any lesson from your experience so far?
I just want emphasize a few words. First one is about good partnership with at macro and community level. At the macro level is good partnership with the government's relevant government agencies with related to land and land management, especially the institution who has the function to monitor the enforcement or the implementation of the law. And the second one is about find the good and relevant experts to cooperate, to partner, to implement the activities with regard to monitoring and support the outreach for the communities. And at the micro level, good partnership, and pay attention to, and invest more time with the communities at the grassroots level, so where to ensure the land law can reach the communities, can meet with their needs and expectations. That's my experience.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. So the lesson is to cooperate, have a strong collaboration at the grassroots level. Yeah. To Cambodia, Oxfam, in terms of way forward with regard to contract farming or grievance mechanism in Cambodia?
For Cambodia, we are looking into the way forward because a lot of lessons have been sharing and almost the same. We will looking into widely disseminate and promote the use of the guidance on conflict prevention and conflict resolution that Oxfam and the Alliance member have been developed. And the new emerging conflict resolution in Cambodia, recently, especially last year, the government has established the National Authority on Alternative Dispute Resolution that using mediation to mediate all the conflict cases. And this mechanism is free, no cost, and accessible everywhere, nationwide, and also has a legal binding. Their final conclusion report is equal to the court order. So it is legal binding, and especially is free. And less time consuming compared to the court system. So we promoting the use of this national authority on mediation to promote a conflict resolution nationwide. And last but not least, it is important that we call for public consultation on the new contract farming law from the ministry, because you know the law is for contract farming, while the agriculture cooperative and company who implement the agreement have never been discussed and consulted about the law. So we concerned that it will have implication when the law will be approval for implementation. So far it's not yet has any public consultation and discussion about this draft law. So we strongly call for consultation with stakeholders, especially agriculture cooperative and companies.
Okay, thank you very much. So the way forward is to focus on the contract farming law. That will be the major development to support the contract farming practices. Yeah. And the next is on the conflict resolution. Yeah. Use the alternative system that is binding, okay, and free.
Yeah. Free.
Okay. Thank you very much. Then may I open the floor for questions? If you have any, please raise your hand. Thank you very much. And please refer your question to our panelists.
Thank you so much. I'm Anu from International Land Coalition. So it's not a direct question for any particular country, but I mean, first of all, thanks for this brilliant panel. It was really informative, especially coming from beyond the Mekong region. So it was a lot of information. It's interesting topic, investment, how if agriculture investment goes wrong. Now my question is, to make it right, how much are we investing on our youth in our policies and in the interventions that we are doing in Mekong region is my first question, because we all have concerns across that young people are not really coming to the agriculture sector the way we really want them to. So are we investing on them enough is the first question. The second question is, while we are discussing about partnerships and alliances a lot, how much are we really investing on the people's organization, so the community itself, not via CSOs, because CSOs being also part of that fraternity, it is important, but now it's also important to reach out to and hear the people's organizations, communities directly, and they being in the decision making and leadership positions. So thanks, those are two questions.
Yeah, thank you very much. Who of us volunteer to answer the question? It's general about the youth engagement for the first one. To what extent we pay attention to engage the youth in this process. And the second is on the strengthening the people organization at the local level, rather than just working with the NGOs or a normal CSO at a higher level, but down to the grassroots level. Jeanne, you may have some response.
Maybe on the youth perspective, it's true that youth is the future, and we need to keep them engaged and willing to be farmers and to stay in the communities. I think for PASVC, at least we try to bring the information close to them so that they are also involved, working with the Lao Women Union, the Lao Youth Union, to try and have diverse representatives that are there that can share their information with other people. As Helvetas, we also work on climate smart agriculture, so with like little subventions that are given to youth that have ideas on how to farm differently. And I think on the way of working with like really local organizations from the ground, I think that, again, I will come back to the idea that this is a process, and that sometimes in some contexts it's difficult to go directly to the ground, and one needs to make a way that it will percolate ultimately to that level, and that these people will also feel reinforced. But sometimes it's difficult to go to that level directly, so you need to find ways to do it a bit differently. I don't know if anyone wants to say more.
I think Oxfam may have. Tuan, would you also like to have some intervention after that, especially on the second one with regard to the local organizations, the people organizations? If you have any, it's okay, but now Oxfam.
Yes, I agree, and I think we face the same challenge in terms of engaging with youth in agriculture. We know that the youth in the new generation, they don't like to work in the field, in the right field like the eldest generation. However, we're trying to working with the youth organization. In Cambodia, there is a youth-based organization that they have a network of youth at the university in Phnom Penh, so we're trying to engage with them. While at the community level, we work through their parents. The new model of a modern agriculture cooperative that introduced by MAF, this model, they need to establish the operational structure of the agriculture cooperative. And they set a target, a model that the younger generation or the son or the daughter of the community are the first consideration to be applied for the structure, operational structure of this modern agriculture cooperative. So this is how we consider to engage youth in the agriculture sector, while the others, they are interesting to work in the office, in the urban and city. So we trying to find to engage through their existing network at the university and the youth-based organization, as well as their parents who are the member of the agriculture cooperative. So this our experience.
Yeah, thank you very much on the experience with working with youth. Any of you wants to contribute? Okay.
Yeah, I also agree with Asha. For the Vietnam context, because at the grassroots level, we have some kind of social organization like the women union or youth union or labor union or some kind of union at the grassroots level. I mean, at the communities and commune levels. So our experience is work in close partnership with these local organization, and especially to youth organization. We directly go to them, work with them, and provide clear message and information, make sure everything on the same page with the common consensus, to get them know about the objective and the purpose of the work, so that to convince them to collaborate with us to implement our activities.
Yeah, so your approach is working directly with those union at the local level. I will go for another round, but before that, okay, it's okay. So, Kankal.
Yes, okay. Short, okay. So, thank you very much. When we talk about conflict resolution or grievance mechanism, it's not just on the paper, because on the paper is good, but in practice now. So I like to ask, especially, like you said, that it depends on the context of the country. So I have a feeling that Vietnam would be similar to Laos in somehow. So then I like to learn for Vietnam also, or other panelists as well, because when we deal with the conflict, it's sensitive. So how to protect the people is make them like to support them, protect them, and make them also maybe through media or hotline, they dare to speak out, other things. So how do you do with that, and who stand up to protect them and support them continuously in the fast way, cheap way, and tangible, and no related to power? Thank you.
Yeah, so Tuan.
I think this is a very interesting question. Our practical experience is that actually protecting the the informant. I mean the one who can the one who want to challenge or who want to engage deeply into the monitoring process is very important. So one of our activities, at the policy level, we know that there are some regulation provided not only by the law, not only by the land law, but also other laws, to protect the right to access to the information of the people. And we also, in Vietnam, we also have a kind of, regulation called Ordinance for Democracy at grassroots level. So that is the roles and responsibility of the local authorities to provide information and to protect the privacy or the information, or to protect the people who want to get to know the information and who want to challenge, the problems or the problems during the land law enforcement implementation. For example, for the land recovery process or for the compensation process. There are lots of regulation clearly provide to protect the people and to provide information for them. Within our experience, we work with the local authorities and the other local organizations, to create safe spaces and some kind of tools, to ensure to ensure one way providing or transfer information, necessary information to the one who want to get information, and on the other hand, we create some kind of mechanism, feedback mechanism, in order to ensure transfer. Two ways transferring information from the grassroots level to the local authorities, and that's our experience.
Yep, thank you. I think the time's up is up, but I would like to open for another question. Yes, please. And then we will wrap the sessions. It's lunchtime.
Thank you very much. Ushu Dain from Lenko Group, Myanmar. I think listening, the topic is very alarming, especially what happens when agriculture investment goes wrong. I think that really makes me thought a lot of things. But after I listened, the key is that how policy and legal framework in the country recognize REI principles, and also how it is operational at the ground level in all Mekong region countries. So the question to all of the panel members is, how have you observed the, REI principle operational regardless of whether it is contract farming or not? I think the example given by our Myanmar representative is not, from the private sector perspective. Carbon credit program, when the carbon credit program is not, effectively implemented, meaning that not responsible, not very responsive. There are problems in the community and there are accountability, issue being observed. So I think this is a question to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's questions, but for all the panelists. But given the time, I don't think we can try, but I would like to seek the volunteer if anyone wants to respond. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Actually, it's a parallel sessions, I think, on REI, ASEAN REI, which I think it's I don't know, but I think I was part of that as well. So for the Lao context, there has been discussions about integrating the ASEAN RAI in the country level. There was an initiative to assess the legal framework in Laos against the principles of RAI. And then from there, the result is, the expected result is trying to create a national action plan for the Laos in order to move forward with alignment with the ASEAN RAI. And the second one is on the platform that is available, at least for the one that LIWG is part of it. We have the COP RAI, which is actually a committee of practice consisting of members of LIWG, where we provide space for members to discuss the issues and also the solutions. But in relation to that, there is one called focal group on RAI, which is actually led by Department of Land under their Land Subsector Working Group, mechanisms that feeds into the policy reform in Laos. So with that, we are positive that we have at least a platform for us to voice our concerns, and hopefully that will lead to the solutions that we need. I think that should be it. One last thing, it's not just the policies and not just the government. I think the major part of the question is how the investors is willing to adopt or apply the RAI principles. So far, it's not mandatory. It's not under any legal requirement. That's why your questions about how we translating this into national policies and requirement will be very important. And the next step would be how do we work or engage with private sector in order for them to apply the principles in their practice.
Thank you, Vanida. Thank you very much for your participation too. I think we can conclude the sessions by now. But before that, I would like to just make some key points for the sessions. With the introduction that as I mentioned about the landscape of agricultural investment and land issues in the region. The region has undergone a remarkable transformation over the past decades, and especially we observe the changing models of agricultural investment that had moved from purely or dominant by the large-scale land acquisitions to a more inclusive agricultural models where contract farming or nucleus estate models were developed across the countries in the region. So there is a clear shifting trends over the past decade. And the move into these agricultural investment or the nucleus estate models, other models, these models are not free from risk. There are still risks involved, especially with the smaller farmers. So there is a need to mitigate this risk for the farmers. And with the adoption of this contract farming, for example, there has been remaining issues of weak enforcement because although they have the contract, they have the agreement, but the actual implementation is lag because parties of the agreements do not abide by their commitment in the agreement itself. So there is a need to strengthen this, and there is a need to have a good law, and there has been an effort that there is a law revision in Vietnam. There is a draft law going on in Cambodia. So there is a need to improve this law. And there is also a need to have a proper grievance mechanism so that people can still lodge their complaint. Although we have a good law, we can't expect good implementation on the ground. So we need to have a grievance mechanism. And we need also to have a system in place where these systems are equipped by human resources that have the ability to deal with those grievances. Otherwise, the problem will get stuck along the way. And all in all, there is an effort to improve the capacity of the people at the local level so that they have a better awareness of these legal frameworks and system so that they can observe what is happening on the ground in relation to this legal system, for example. So that will be the basis for them to identify the issues and find ways to to go for a better justice for their land rights and livelihoods and preservation of their cultures at the local level. So thank you very much. A bit beyond the time limit. My apologies for this, and thanks for your attention and patience for these sessions. So yeah, may I close the sessions? Standing.